Have you ever thought that something as simple as taking a bath could quietly put your health at risk after 70? Most people believe bathing is just about staying clean. But here's the truth. After a certain age, your body changes, and the habits that once felt harmless can now lead to dry skin, infections, even dangerous falls. I remember hearing about Mr. Douglas, 72, who thought his daily hot shower was keeping him strong and fresh. But one small mistake turned into a serious infection that sent him to the hospital. And he's not alone. Many seniors make these same quiet mistakes without realizing the damage they're causing. That's why in this video, we're going to uncover 7 bathing mistakes seniors must avoid after 70. These aren't rare or unusual. They're common, everyday habits that could be harming your health and chipping away at your confidence without you even knowing it. Stay with me until the very end, because mistake number 7 is the one I see almost every senior make at least once a week. And it's the mistake that leads to the most hospital visits. You don't want to miss it. By the time we finish, you'll know exactly how to turn your daily bath from a hidden risk into a safe, refreshing routine that keeps you clean, healthy, and confident, no matter your age. One of the most common mistakes older adults make is bathing too often, or using water that's simply too hot. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Isn't bathing every single day the best way to stay fresh and clean? It sounds right, doesn't it? But for seniors, it can quietly do more harm than good. Here's why. As we age, our skin naturally becomes thinner and more fragile. The protective oils that used to keep it soft and hydrated are no longer produced in the same way. When you shower too often, or when you use steaming hot water, those precious oils are stripped away. The result? Dry, itchy, irritated skin that cracks easily, making it far easier for infections to sneak in. Let me share with you the story of Margaret, a 75-year-old woman who always loved her long, hot showers. For decades, it was her way to relax at the end of the day. But after a few months of keeping that habit in her 70s, she started noticing red patches on her arms and legs. Her skin was so dry it would peel and sting. When she finally went to the doctor, she learned that her daily scalding showers had actually damaged her skin's natural barrier. What she thought was keeping her extra clean was, in fact, making her skin more vulnerable. And the scary part? Dry, cracked skin doesn't just hurt your confidence. It creates tiny openings where bacteria can enter. For seniors, that can lead to serious infections that take weeks to heal. The good news is this: you don't have to give up your bath or shower. The secret is adjusting how you do it. Instead of piping hot water, aim for warm, not too cold, not too hot. And instead of every single day, try every other day, or keep your showers short and gentle if you prefer daily bathing. This one small change can help you keep your skin healthy, your body comfortable, and your confidence intact. On the other end of the spectrum, some seniors do the opposite. They avoid bathing altogether, not because they don't care about hygiene, but because they're afraid. The bathroom can feel like one of the most dangerous places in the house. Slippery tiles, wet floors, narrow tubs. For someone with weaker balance, one slip could mean a broken bone, or worse. Take Henry, 80, for example. After a close call where he nearly fell getting out of the tub, he began to avoid bathing as often as he used to. Days would go by, and while he thought he was protecting himself, the truth is his skin began to develop rashes, and he started to feel self-conscious about odor when family came over. What began as a safety choice slowly chipped away at both his health and his confidence. The solution here isn't to skip showers, it's to make them safer. Simple adjustments like installing grab bars, using non-slip mats, or keeping a sturdy shower chair nearby can transform the bathroom from a hazard into a safe place. With these supports, you can maintain regular hygiene without the constant fear of falling. Another mistake many older adults make is holding on to the same products they used in their 30s or 40s. Maybe it's a bar of strong deodorant soap, or a heavily fragranced shower gel. Back then, your skin could handle it, but at 70 or 80, that same soap is like sandpaper. Lucille, 73, loved the crisp, fresh scent of her old deodorant bar soap. She had been using it since her teaching days. But over time, her skin began to sting and develop red patches after every shower. When her dermatologist asked about her bathing products, she was shocked to realize the very soap she trusted for decades was now causing the irritation. Older skin needs gentler care. Harsh soaps strip away moisture and upset the skin's natural balance. Instead, using mild, fragrance-free cleansers designed for sensitive or aging skin makes all the difference. Think of it this way. The products you choose now should soothe and protect, not scrub and strip. Making this change doesn't just keep your skin healthier, it makes bathing a more comfortable, even enjoyable experience again. And that small shift restores confidence, letting you feel at ease in your own skin. You know, it's funny, most of us have been bathing for decades, and we think we've got it all figured out. Soap, rinse, towel, done. But let me ask you, when you step out of the shower, do you really take the time to dry yourself completely? Be honest. A quick swipe across the arms, a rub down the legs, maybe the chest, and then clothes go right on. It feels fine in the moment. But here's the truth. At our age, leaving just a little moisture behind can cause problems that sneak up quietly and make life a lot more uncomfortable than it needs to be. I remember talking with a man named Howard. He's 74, lives alone, pretty independent. He told me with a chuckle, "I've been air drying for years. It's the natural way." And sure, it sounded harmless. But not long after, little red patches started showing up around his waist. His feet began itching like crazy, and nights became restless. What he thought was just harmless habit ended with a fungal infection that wouldn't quit. Weeks of cream, pills, and sleepless nights, all from skipping those extra 2 minutes with a towel. And the thing is, Howard isn't the only one. Our skin changes as we get older. It's thinner, more fragile, and less able to fight off irritation. Dampness trapped under the arms, between the toes, or in skin folds, it weakens our defenses. Add warm clothing on top, and suddenly your body becomes a little greenhouse for bacteria and fungus. Not exactly what you want when you're trying to feel fresh and confident, right? Think about it for yourself. How many times have you gotten out of the shower, felt tired, and thought, I'll be fine? Maybe you skipped drying your feet because bending down feels like too much hassle. Maybe you forgot that small fold around your waist. Each time, it feels harmless. But when the itch starts, or worse, when odor creeps in, it's not just your health that suffers, it chips away at your confidence too. So here's what I want you to do next time. Slow down. Don't rush into your clothes. Take a soft towel and gently pat yourself dry. Not rough scrubbing, just patient, thorough care. Pay attention to those forgotten spots. Behind your knees, under your arms, between your toes. If balance makes it tough, sit on a small stool to dry your feet. And if you want to stay extra fresh, a little talc-free powder in those tricky areas can help. Howard eventually learned. Once he took drying seriously, the infection stopped coming back. He looked at me one day and said, "I can't believe such a small thing made such a big difference." And he was right. Sometimes the tiniest habits, the ones we hardly notice, end up protecting not just our health, but our dignity too. So, my friend, the next time you step out of the shower, remember, those extra moments with a towel aren't wasted. They're an act of self-care, a way of saying, I still respect my body, I still take pride in myself. And that small step can keep you feeling clean, comfortable, and confident day after day. Let me ask you something. When you step into the shower, what kind of soap do you usually grab? For many people, it's the same brand they've used for years, Maybe one that promises to kill germs or leave you squeaky clean? It sounds good, right? But here's the part most people don't realize. After 70, the very soap that makes you feel clean can quietly be damaging your skin. I once met a woman named Clara, 78 years old. She used to laugh and say, "I like my soap strong. If it doesn't sting a little, I don't feel clean." And for a while, she thought it was fine. But then her legs began itching every night. Her arms felt dry and flaky, and no amount of lotion seemed to help. She didn't know that her soap was stripping away the little bit of natural oil her skin still had. Our skin changes with age. It becomes thinner, more fragile, and naturally produces less oil. That means it needs more protection, not less. But harsh soaps or even just using too much soap remove that protective layer. Imagine taking the finish off a piece of fine wood. At first, you don't notice, but over time it cracks, it weakens, and it loses its smoothness. That's exactly what happens to our skin. And here's something else. Many of us grew up believing that the more we scrub, the cleaner we'll be. Back when we were younger, maybe our skin could handle it. But now, the deodorant soaps, the heavily scented body washes, the scrubbing from head to toe every day, they often do more harm than good. When Clara finally switched to a gentle, fragrance-free cleanser, something surprising happened. At first, she worried she wouldn't feel clean enough. But after a few weeks, her skin stopped itching. The redness faded. She felt more comfortable, even more confident. One day she told me, "I didn't know that being gentle could make me feel cleaner than being harsh." And that's the truth. You don't need mountains of foam or strong perfumes to feel clean. Focus on the key spots that really need soap, like your underarms, your groin, and your feet. The rest of your skin can often do just fine with a gentle rinse. That way, you stay fresh without stripping your body of the protection it still has. It's such a small change, but it makes all the difference. Because real hygiene isn't about scrubbing yourself raw. It's about treating your body with the same care and kindness it's shown you all these years. Now, since we're talking about soap and how we treat our skin, let's move a little further down, to the feet. Tell me honestly, when you're in the shower, how much attention do you really give to your feet? Do you bend down and wash them carefully? Or do you just let the soapy water run down and think that's enough? Most people chuckle when I ask this because the truth is, many of us stop really cleaning our feet as we get older. And I get it. It's harder to bend. Balance isn't what it used to be, and it feels like too much effort. But ignoring your feet is a mistake that can cause more trouble than you might expect. I once spoke with a gentleman named Robert in his early 80s. He was proud of how independent he still was. But one day he developed a stubborn infection between his toes. At first, he thought it was nothing, a little redness, a bit of itching. But it spread quickly, and suddenly walking even around the house became painful. He later admitted that he hadn't properly washed or dried his feet in years. "The water runs down there anyway," he said. But water alone isn't enough, especially at our age. Our feet carry us everywhere. They spend hours trapped in socks and shoes, often warm and damp. That makes them the perfect place for fungus and bacteria if we don't give them proper care. And when circulation isn't as strong as it once was, those small infections take longer to heal and can turn serious fast. The good news? You don't need to twist yourself into a pretzel to care for your feet. A small stool or a shower chair can make it easier to sit and reach them. A long-handled sponge or soft brush can help if bending is difficult. The key is to give your feet the same attention you'd give your hands or face. Wash gently, dry carefully, especially between the toes, and check for any small cuts or sores. Robert eventually learned this the hard way, but once he started paying attention, his problems cleared up. He told me he felt more confident just knowing his feet were clean and cared for. And really, isn't that what hygiene is all about? Feeling fresh, feeling comfortable, feeling sure of yourself? So the next time you're in the shower, don't forget about your feet. They've carried you through a lifetime. Doesn't it make sense to give them a little extra care now? We've talked about soap, water temperature, and even caring for your feet. But there's one more mistake I often see, and it might sound simple, but it makes a huge difference. It's rushing through the bath. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Bathing is just another chore, something to get done quickly so you can move on with your day. And for many older adults, that becomes the habit. 5 minutes under the water, soap here, rinse there, and it's over. But when we rush, we miss the small but important details that keep us healthy. I remember speaking with Eleanor, 75, who admitted that she usually bathed in under 5 minutes. I don't see the point of taking longer, she said, but she also wondered why she often felt itchy afterward, why her skin seemed dull, and why she sometimes smelled less fresh even though she had just bathed. The truth was, in her rush, she wasn't rinsing off all the soap. She wasn't drying properly, and she wasn't giving her skin and body the care they deserved. Bathing isn't just about washing away dirt. It's about taking a few quiet moments to truly care for yourself. To gently wash, to make sure the folds of your skin are clean and dry, to check for little things you might not notice otherwise, a bruise, a sore, a change in your skin. These small observations can save you from bigger problems later. And here's something beautiful I've seen. When people slow down, bathing becomes less of a chore and more of a ritual, a moment of self-respect. Some play soft music, some use a favorite towel, some simply take an extra few minutes to enjoy the warm water. It's not about luxury. It's about reminding yourself that your body is still worthy of care, patience, and gentleness. Eleanor eventually changed her approach. She took her time, made sure to rinse fully, and gently patted herself dry instead of rushing with a rough towel. A few weeks later, she told me, "I feel more refreshed now than I have in years. I didn't realize slowing down could make me feel so alive." So my advice, as we close this list, is simple. Don't rush. Give yourself permission to linger just a little longer. To treat bathing not as something you have to do, but as something you get to do. Because those small moments of care add up to health, comfort, and confidence in the life you're living right now. So, there you have it. 7 bathing mistakes that may seem small, but over time, they quietly harm your health and your confidence after 70. From using water that's too hot, to skipping proper rinsing, to forgetting your feet are rushing through, it all adds up. And the truth is, these mistakes aren't about being careless. They're about habits we've carried for years without realizing that our bodies have changed and our routines need to change with them. But here's the good news. Every single one of these mistakes is easy to fix. A slightly cooler shower, a gentler soap, a few extra moments to care for your feet, slowing down just enough to let your body feel cared for. None of this is complicated, and yet the reward is enormous. You feel fresher, healthier, more comfortable in your own skin. And that comfort brings back something even bigger: confidence. I want you to take a moment and reflect. Which of these 7 mistakes have you been making without noticing? Maybe it's the hot water, maybe it's rushing through, or maybe, like Eleanor, you've been ignoring the little details that could change everything. Share your answer in the comments. I'd love to know which one stood out to you most. And if this video gave you something valuable today, please hit the like button. It helps this channel grow and lets me know you want more content like this. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so you won't miss the next video, because I promise the next topic will surprise you and might even change the way you see your daily life. Remember this: hygiene after 70 isn't just about staying clean. It's about treating yourself with care, respect, and love. Because your body has carried you this far, and it deserves nothing less. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. Take care of yourself, enjoy your next bath, and I'll see you in the next video.